What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns riding around with Janine, my primary character on the Xbox One, in her Mesa, just like we did last year and 2 years ago on this day. That's right, this is the 2 year anniversary of my channel. Back in March 20th, 2014 is when this whole crazy ride began. 2 years ago, I had 0 subscribers. Then a year ago, I had over 450 subscribers. As of today, I have over 1,000 subscribers. I've also uploaded over 1,000 videos, and we have a grand total of over 190,000 views. And that is all thanks to you, my viewers, my subscribers, my fans, and some of you that have become my friends, whether it was on the Xbox 360, Xbox One, or the PlayStation 4. Your support, every time you've hit the like button or left a comment or shared one of my videos, has helped my channel grow. And for that, I am extremely humble and grateful to each and every one of you that have done your part to help make this channel what it is today. Now, 2 years ago, when I decided to launch this channel, it was with an idea, because I had so many different ideas for Grand Theft Auto Online, and I kept emailing them to Rockstar. And finally, one day, I decided, you know what? Instead of just emailing my ideas to Rockstar, why don't I just make videos, just like all the other gaming YouTube channels do, right? And that's how I began with my Bowling Broke video, which is the very first video on this channel 2 years ago today. And at the time, I had no idea what the future was going to hold for me doing a gaming channel. Was it going to be one video and done? Was I going to try my luck at 10 videos and give up? But no, I've done over 1,000 videos nonstop, just about, for 2 years straight. And it's been a very interesting ride so far. There's been plenty of ups, there's been plenty of downs, there's been moments when I wanted to give up, when I felt like the channel wasn't growing the way I was wanting it to, especially whenever I was in the 900 subscriber range, heading into 1,000. Like every day I would check my subscriber number, and some days it would go up 1 or 2 subscribers. Some days it would actually go down, so it felt like I was going, 2 steps forward and 1 step, and sometimes 2 steps back. And it can be frustrating because for some reason, somebody out there that subscribed to my channel decided to unsubscribe, and you never really hear feedback from anybody about why they decide to unsub from a channel, except for 1 or 2 former subscribers who were kind of assholes anyways. But something I realized a long time ago was I was never going to please everybody 100%. There are always going to be those out there, for whatever rhyme or reason, that just don't like you. No matter how hard you try, it's not going to be good enough for them. So that's just the way it is. What matters is those of you that actually do like me, do enjoy my videos, and continue to like them and share them, leave comments, interact with me, and continue to give me a chance. Because I realize I am not one of the big YouTubers out there. However, even the big YouTubers started off small. But it was due to the loyalty and the support from their base, which is you guys, is what kept them going. You're what keeps me going. Without you, I would just throw in the towel. I would give up on making videos and call it a day. But you drive me to continue doing what I do, even on days when I wake up and I feel bummed out about something, like a few days ago, for example. Those of you wondering why there isn't a rant video today, because normally we do rant videos on Sunday. I did it on Wednesday because I was planning on doing this video anyways. But at the same time, there was also a hot topic in the news regarding Lindsay Lohan's lawsuit against Grand Theft Auto 5. By the way, if you want to go check out that rant video, it's up on the channel. So after you're done listening to me babble here and pour my heart out to you, you can go watch that video in case you need to satisfy that quench, that thirst, that craving for a rant video. Well, it's already up, so that's the good news. But here's the thing. I spent Tuesday evening working on that video, putting it together, piecing it together, and I had it uploaded, scheduled for Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time as usual. It posts, and normally when you make a video like that, that's a trending hot topic, it tends to get a lot more views than your average videos. And I was kind of surprised about the fact that it wasn't getting the views I was expecting it to. No, I didn't think it was going to get 1,000 views or 10,000 views or anything crazy like that, which would have been awesome if it did, but I'm kind of a realist to some degree. But I was hoping that it would have done a little bit better than it did, and maybe it will, because I think most of you are used to my rant videos going out on Sunday. So if you got a chance, go show that video some love. Hopefully you will enjoy that rant. But then 7 or 8 hours later, I noticed some of the larger YouTube channels, I won't name names, they also posted a similar video regarding Lindsay Lohan's lawsuit, and their videos exploded for whatever rhyme or reason. And that was just a little disheartening for me, because I realized there's obviously larger YouTubers out there and a lot of YouTube gaming channels out there as well. I don't necessarily consider it a competition because there's such a large audience, but at the same time, it's very difficult to get your content out there to reach new subscribers, viewers, and fans when you have all these other YouTube channels doing it as well. Plus, Wednesday afternoon was also the day that my hard line to my internet, my cable, got accidentally cut by my lawn guy when he was trimming one of my bushes. Fortunately, I got the internet back, obviously, but that day kind of sucked. But that's life. We have good days, we have bad days. But I feel a lot better since Wednesday, and the big reason is because you guys continue to be there for me by liking my videos, leaving comments. Those of you that like to game with me, either on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, I swing both ways. But the point is, you guys are the reason why I keep doing this. Now, I do have lofty dreams of getting 2,000 or 5,000, 10,000, maybe even 100,000 subscribers somewhere down the road. Maybe by the time I'm 60 in about 30 years, maybe I'll finally get 100K subscribers, or maybe sooner if I'm incredibly lucky. And that's how I see my life. That's how I see everything I do and everything you do. We go out, we do our best. Sometimes we succeed, a lot of times we fail. And the way I look at it, if I'm meant to be a big YouTuber one day, it'll happen. And if not, eventually I'll find something else to do in my life. But for those of you that would like a little backstory about me, because every now and then I throw bits and pieces out there, and I really do like to let you guys in on who I am, what I'm about, why I do what I do. It's not only because I have ideas for Grand Theft Auto Online, which I still email to Rockstar occasionally. I also am a gamer. I've been so my whole life. And back when I was an 80s, 90s kid, I played on all sorts of awesome consoles. First off, the Intellivision with my grandfather, the Nintendo, the original old school NES, the Sega Master at my friend's house, arcades obviously, the Super Nintendo, N64, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, the original PlayStation, the PC games. I was really into PC gaming back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And also had a GameCube. I will admit that I had a GameCube, as well as the original Xbox because of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That's why I ended up getting that. Man, that was an awesome RPG. And of course, I eventually got a PlayStation 2, and then I moved over to Xbox 360. And I even had a PSP, which I enjoyed playing Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories on. What an awesome opening theme that game has. Probably one of the best in the entire Grand Theft Auto series. And then, of course, now I have a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One, which I play on my 50-inch flat screen in my entertainment room. And I've come a long way since when I was a kid. This is the setup that me and my stepsister had back in the 80s, okay? A small black and white TV with our NES. That's what we had. That's what we took turns playing and nearly killing each other over. The moral of the story here is to be grateful for what you have when it comes to your setup. Because you could have a small black and white TV, an NES that overheats, and you have to share with your stepsister. All kidding aside, I want to go over some of the games and gaming franchises that I have enjoyed playing over the years. Super Mario, Zelda, Mortal Kombat, Wolfenstein, Doom, SimCity, Civilization, Donkey Kong Country, Star Fox, Mega Man, the Diablo series, Diablo 1, my favorite, which was Diablo 2, and of course Diablo 3. A numerous amount of racing games, which is why I do my Racing Badly series, because I've loved racing games all my life, even though I obviously suck at racing. The Total War series, a lot of strategy and RTS games. I was really into that in the 2000s. But skipping backward just a little bit to the 90s, I was really into PC gaming, specifically all the awesome Star Wars games coming out from LucasArts, like the Dark Forces series, which eventually became Jedi Knight, TIE Fighter, as well as X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, which was kind of an MMO back in the day, and fortunately it didn't run as well because it was the fucking 90s and most of us had dial-up back then. It was still fun though. And at the time the graphics were awesome for the 90s. Hopefully eventually we'll see maybe a rebirth or a reboot of the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter series. I would be all about that. Now, where did my love for Grand Theft Auto begin? Well, it began right where it started, back in the late 90s. That's right, with the original top-down Grand Theft Auto in 1997. I was a junior in high school, and on weekends, me and my friends would meet over at each other's houses with the original PlayStation, and we would take turns seeing how much mayhem and damage and destruction we could cause before we died, and we would time it out, and whoever lasted the longest would win. Then in 1999, I got Grand Theft Auto 2 on PC. That was shortly after I graduated from high school, moved to Louisiana, and started college. Then in the year 2000, I interned and got hired in radio. As a part-timer, I started off in promotions, doing board ops whenever other talent was out doing remotes. And of course, eventually I got to start doing weekend overnight air shifts. Then in 2001, that was a really, really crappy year, obviously, because of, well, 9/11, the police state, and the war on terror. But in October, something happened, kind of a silver lining in this dark, depressing world that we were now living in 2001. Grand Theft Auto 3 came out to the PlayStation 2. And even back when I was playing the first two Grand Theft Auto games, the top-down versions, I was also playing, Super Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I could imagine a 3D version of Grand Theft Auto and how awesome that would be. And that happened in October 2001, and it was a smash hit. In fact, the other day when I didn't have internet and I couldn't get online, I just pulled up my iPhone and I started playing Grand Theft Auto 3. I was just being all nostalgic. I played it for like at least 30 minutes or so, just driving around Liberty City, running over people, and just watching my cars explode. It was hilarious. Then, of course, I played other awesome Rockstar games. 2002, Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out. 2004, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. 2005, I might have mentioned this already, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories for the PSP. Then in 2006, Bully. And I hope one day they actually make a sequel to Bully somewhere down the road. And then Rockstar went back to Grand Theft Auto in GTA 4. And man, that was such a beautiful game. I remember seeing the first trailer for that, and I was like, wow. They just took it up to a whole new level back in 2008. And of course, a year later with Lost and the Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony, two of the best story DLCs, in my opinion. That was such an awesome game. Then in 2010, one of my favorite games of all time, Red Dead Redemption came out, and I can't wait till Rockstar comes out with the next installment of Red Dead. Hopefully, that'll be the next Rockstar game. Anyways, back on topic. So in 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. First, initially planned to be released in the spring of 2013. It got delayed for 6 months, which kind of sort of ticked some of us off that were waiting and hoping for it to come out in the spring. We had to wait another 6 months, but it was well worth it when Grand Theft Auto 5 finally came to Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, September 17th, Constitution Day here in the States, 2013, and that game was phenomenal. Now, when I pre-ordered Grand Theft Auto 5 for the Xbox 360, I had no interest or desire to play Grand Theft Auto online. My big selling point was the story. Playing as Franklin and Michael and Trevor and going into this vast world of southern San Andreas. That was where my interest was. Grand Theft Auto Online, yeah, okay, whatever. I played Red Dead Redemption multiplayer. It was okay. I also played Grand Theft Auto 4 multiplayer. I could take it or leave it. But I never really was as into online gaming as I became in October 2013, just a few weeks later when Grand Theft Auto Online launched on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, which was the smoothest launch ever. No, it wasn't. The first day or two, it was kind of hard to get into Grand Theft Auto Online. It would freeze at the racing tutorial, and it would sit there playing Soul Wax over and over again. So you sit there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30 minutes, hoping that you'll finally get to do the race tutorial. That way you can finally get into the fucking game. And then finally you gave up and you just restarted. But eventually, 2 or 3 days later, Rockstar figured out the problem, and the rest is history. Grand Theft Auto Online, one of the most successful online games out there right now. Now, real briefly, some other games I've enjoyed playing over the years. The Batman Arkham series, Destroy All Humans, Ace Combat, Skyrim, Ghostbusters, Overlord. Let's see, Mafia 1 and 2. I'm really looking forward to Mafia 3 coming out this year. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Sid Meier's Pirates, Sims. Already mentioned Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Let's see, some flight simulator games back in the day. Let's see, World War II games. A lot of those games I might have mentioned, I've already played before on my old Throwback Thursday series. And one day I might bring back my Throwback Thursday series, but not anytime soon. And of course, most recently, Forza 6 and Fallout 4. By the way, I'm going to be playing the new DLC for Fallout 4 this coming week, Automatron. Just a small disclaimer, if you're not a Fallout 4 fan, I completely understand, but I will be doing some Fallout 4 Automatron uploads this week. But I'll also be doing Grand Theft Auto Online. So I'm going to try and balance it out, so please don't unsub for me just because I want to go play another game for 5 seconds. I'm sure most of you understand because you're fellow gamers. You don't just love Grand Theft Auto Online. You love all sorts of other awesome games out there, and so do I. Now, if I could say this, if there is one regret regarding my channel, but I would never change it because it is what it is. Everything we do, the good stuff, the bad stuff, when we decide to do something, that's when we were meant to do it. I would have liked to have started my gaming channel maybe a little sooner, but at the same time, everything happens for a reason. And I believe that I was always meant to start this channel 2 years ago on March 20th, 2014 with that crappy video in which I didn't even get the proportions, the size, the video right, and I had an even crappier mic than I do now, and it was 360 Grand Theft Auto Online graphics. So yeah, and don't get me started on how shitty my thumbs were back in the day. But that's the point though. I have gotten better. I know I'm not the best out there, but if you go and compare how I am now to how I was 2 years ago, I believe I've gotten a little bit better. And that is the goal in life. Whenever you get into something, you want to improve and get better tomorrow than you were today, and better today than you were 2 years ago. So if there's one thing I have accomplished, it's I haven't given up, and I've gotten better, and I still absolutely love Grand Theft Auto Online. Even though it's approaching 3 years old, I still love playing it. But at the same time, just like with most of you, I do like the fact there's some other games coming out that I'm interested in, like Mafia 3, as well as any other awesome game that comes out down the road that I might be interested in playing on the channel. By the way, if there is a game coming out in 2016 you would like for me to play, let me know below in the comment section, and I might just play it. But with that being said, I think I've babbled on enough, and for those of you still listening after 18 minutes and 30 seconds, thank you so much for all that you've done for me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, because like I said at the beginning, I do this because A, I love gaming, B, I have a certain set of skills from my radio days and other YouTube channels I've done, so all of it meshes well into making this channel what it is. But at the same time, I wouldn't continue to make content if it wasn't for the fact that there are actually people out there like you and even you who like watching what I do. No matter what fate has in store for me, whether this is the last video I ever post, or if I'm meant to post 1,000 more or 10,000 more. I've enjoyed this journey so far, and if I'm meant to continue, hopefully you'll stick with me and you'll continue to support me, like my videos, leave comments, and even share the ones you really enjoy with your friends and fellow gamers as we go up and down this wild, crazy road together.